This is episode 35 of Mama Chow and Spicy Wonton, 周妈妈和辣女儿. And today we're going to continue with sayings in different dialects and why some dialects have more meaning and history and more rich than other dialects. So with that, Mama Chow, I think you have one phrase that we want to talk about why it doesn't always translate well in different dialects.
Yeah. Well, okay. China has so many dialects. Although I know four, three,
Yeah.
and we're better than many Chinese, right? They know maybe one or two.
Yeah.
But among the four, the most the dialect, I'm not perfect. I know how to say it, understand, but 100% not perfect.
Yeah. Where you have an accent, the one that you, yeah.
I think Cantonese is so much richer
Mm-hmm.
in the meaning, in
Expression.
saying,
Expression.
expression
Yeah.
than Mandarin and the Shanghainese.
Yeah.
Okay, for simple example, very simple. In Mandarin and the Shanghainese, 我来了, I'm coming. And 上海, 我来了. 3 words, but doesn't tell you 我来了, whether 来了, 没有来, on the way. But in Cantonese,
So
wait,
to explain what you're saying is this Chinese phrase 我来了, meaning, I'm coming. But you're saying when you say it in Mandarin, when you say 我来了, it doesn't tell you the exact time. It's kind of vague.
Yeah. You can explain in a much longer sentence. Say exactly where you are.
But you're saying that Cantonese is more precise. There are many more different ways to express that same phrase, 我来了, but in a very precise way in terms of timing. So do you want to go through those?
Yeah. In Cantonese, you can say 我嚟緊.
What does that mean? I'm coming.
I'm coming.
That means I'm coming.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. 我嚟咗.
I'm already here.
Already here. 我就嚟.
I'm about to arrive. That means like you could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes away. I don't know. Yeah.
我冇嚟.
I'm not coming.
我冇嚟到，我没有来，我还没出来 But they give you exactly present tense, past tense, past perfect tense, present perfect tense, continue tense, exactly.
Yeah, there are many ways of, saying using different verbs to.
Yeah, very, very simple. 2 or 3 words about everything.
How about in Shanghainese?
我来了. 我来了 means people call me. I'm still in the bathroom, right? When I pick up the phone, 我来不啦? 我来了. Actually, I'm still home. I'm still in the bathroom. I have not changed.
Yeah, that's the same as Mandarin, though.
Yeah,
it's the same as Mandarin. You don't know exactly the time.
Yeah, so it's very confusing. People get used to that. Shanghainese, Mandarin, we do not expect people to explain where exactly you are, Okay. So Cantonese is very explicit.
Yeah, it's more creative and also expressive dialect.
Yeah.
And so with that, we'll just do a little primer on some creative uses of Cantonese. I'll share another YouTuber's video. There's a very interesting clip, specifically about Cantonese swear words, which we all know is much more expressive than in, Mandarin or even Shanghainese. So this is the video.
But did you know?
So that is an example of how expressive there's cursing is in Cantonese. But also historically, the same YouTube also explains that Cantonese is actually the closest dialect to historic Chinese language, ancient Chinese language, actually. So, for example, it's passed many different dynasties, including the Tang Dynasty and other 2 or 3 other dynasties. So it has that rich history, which other dialects do not have, including Shanghainese and Mandarin. And actually, in the Tang Dynasty era, they used Cantonese was the main language that was used throughout the country at the time. So these are the number of dialects, Mama Chow, you were talking about. These are the key type of dialects right now, grouping in China. And then Yue is the Cantonese dialect. So that was the main dialect for many hundreds of years in Chinese history, and not Mandarin. And so that was actually widely spoken in the country, not Mandarin. But Mama Chow, you want to go through another maybe example, and then we can talk a little bit about why the Shanghai dialect is still special to us, even though it is dying. But do you want to talk about another phrase?
Another phrase or another word?
Another word, yeah.
Another word. Okay, in Mandarin is 想. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
想 in Mandarin is 想. Shanghai is 香. The Sichuan is 香. They're very similar, this word.
Yeah.
But in Cantonese, there's many other words.
Right.
Same as 想, but different pronunciation. For instance, like 我想吃饭. I want to have a meal.
That's in Mandarin. You're in Mandarin.
Mandarin. 我想吃饭. 我想出街. 我想出门. 我想买东西.想. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
So in Cantonese is 想. In Cantonese, so 我諗住點做啦. But another word is 想, I miss you. 我想你. I'm thinking about you.
Right.
In Cantonese, it's not like 我想你. 好少人咁講.
No, they don't say that.
Yeah. The Cantonese 我掛住你, 就不用想了, 用掛住. Shanghainese, 我老想侬啊. I miss you a lot. It's 想, still 想, right? Still 想. But another word is...
So this is the word lum in Cantonese. Lum, mom, Mama Chow, look.
Yeah.
Can you see? This is the character, lum.
Oh, 我都唔識呢個字.
So this is how complicated Chinese language is. My Mama Chow basically said she didn't even know this character. But according to, Google, and it's verified by different sources, this is how you write lum.
呢個諗呢? So for instance, you say, oh, let me think about it.
Yeah.
俾我諗下,就呢個做諗.
Yeah. But on the left-hand side of this character, Mama Chow, what does that mean? The left-hand side of the character?
Talk.
So, okay. Yeah. So it's related to talking. Anything on this left-hand side of this Chinese character relates to talking, which makes sense when you think about that word, lum, because it is related to talking and thinking.
Another sound like, I really would like to buy the TV.
Yeah.
我中意個包. Girls like to buy 名牌包.
Like talking about handbags, yeah.
Handbag. Well, I really like to buy that stuff. The Cantonese you go, it's not like thinking about 想. 我好恨這個包. 我好恨嗰個 TV. That's about thinking about that too. You're thinking. But in other words, Mandarin is 想. But
so the Cantonese is a much richer dialect. There are many different ways of saying one or two words. Again, do not repeat our Cantonese, which is terrible. And then another example of our Canto dialect, which is not as accurate, is the word blood, which one of Mama Chow's dear friends used to always laugh about how she
Oh, we
pronounced
haven't
the word
finished.
blood.
Okay, before we go to blood, we have other couple words about thinking about it. It's totally different word. Like suddenly, I was thinking about something. You will say, 突然之間醒起,
Okay.
not 想起, but
Yeah.
醒起 is about thinking
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And also,
This is in
another word,
Cantonese.
Cantonese. And also like, I would think about one method, 想一个办法.
Yeah.
In Cantonese, I would say, 我度條橋, I will find a bridge.
Or they could also just say 我諗住嘅辦法. Or, you know, they could also say that.
But it's very
我諗
local.
諗. Yeah.
Yeah, 我度條橋啦.
Yeah.
If you come to me, you
Right.
said, Mom, help me to find a way to go through that guy.
But anyway, we only are saying this not because we are experts in Canto dialect, because we're not.
No, we're not.
It's only because we acknowledge that it is a very rich, complicated, complex dialect, and it's very expressive, and there's many ways of saying different things, but actually the dialect I prefer to speak in is Shanghainese because I grew up with that in the household. And also it is because we said earlier in the previous episode 34, it is a dying dialect. And when, you know, there are a lot of people who know quote unquote Chinese, they're learning Mandarin, especially if you're a foreigner, you learn Mandarin in school. But also if you're surrounded by Chinese speakers, usually they speak Mandarin. They speak Mandarin. Sometimes they speak Cantonese, like especially if you're around a lot of Hong Kong people or Canto. But Shanghainese is less common. So that's the dialect I prefer using, especially if I'm talking to, you know, Mama Chow on the phone or something. Not that there's anything secretive, but just for some privacy, you know, I would use the Shanghainese dialect. So let's end on just the one word.
Chinese.
Yeah, well, not too Guaylo, you know, to most people it is, they can understand, you know. I think it's better than Mama Chow's Cantonese, put it this way.
Maybe.
So if we want to end on a funny note about how complicated Cantonese, because the intonation in Mandarin there's 5 or 4.
4.
But in Cantonese there's technically 11, between 9 to 11 different ways.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So one example of how complicated it is to pronounce something is blood. Mama Chow's friend, who's from Hong Kong, good friend, used to always make fun of this word because it's not shoot. Shoot is not blood, right? How do you say blood in Mandarin?
血.
Okay. And then how do you say snow in Mandarin?
Okay. 下雪,
Yeah.
流血 is a little bit different.
Okay. So the first one is 下雪, that's snow, when it's snowing. And then the second one?
流血.
That's blood. You're bleeding.
Bleeding. Yeah,
but how would you say it in Canto now?
落雪. I don't know. I tried to pronounce it the way I know.
That's snowing in Cantonese.
Snowing. Bleeding is 落血.
流血, yeah.
Yeah.
So 血 is the blood, and sometimes it's funny because it's such a very nuanced difference. You said 流血, it's not 流血, it's 流血. So that's just our funny saying about how, you know, interesting and complicated it is to pronounce some of these. And then
Also, the way they talk about them. Do we have time to talk about money?
No.
Okay.
That would be another episode. So we want. So out of the 3, though, I mean, which one do you prefer speaking in, dialect-wise? or four? I mean, you don't really speak Sichuanese, so let's just say the three.
Yeah, I don't.
Canto, Mandarin,
Now
Shanghainese.
I don't
Which
have
one?
anybody to speak to.
Yeah, but
I
which
don't.
one, if you could speak to any of them, which one do you prefer to speak in? Which dialect?
Mandarin.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not
I
surprised.
can't
Yeah,
speak to my mom.
okay. But outside of your mom, just say in terms of how you think, when you're thinking about something in your head or numbers,
It's Mandarin.
you think in Mandarin. When you're counting, you think in Mandarin.
Yeah.
Oh, so then that is your quote unquote native, because that is what you speak to with your sister all the time. It is really Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah.
Yeah, but with dad, it was always Shanghainese usually.
Mm,
Shanghainese and
yeah.
Cantonese at home.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mandarin.
No.
So when you
But
guys spoke Cantonese and Shanghainese at home, did you still think in Mandarin when you're counting, or were you then thinking in Shanghainese?
No, still Mandarin. You know, your father's Shanghainese is I train him. He's half Ningbo Shanghainese
Yeah,
and half Canton. His mom's from
Cantonese.
Canton.
Yeah.
So his Shanghainese is not very good. He doesn't speak Shanghainese at home.
Uh-huh.
But he always denies that I train him. So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself, but
Yeah.
but that I remember this was the long-held story that Mama Chow said about the Shanghainese. But yes, so anyway, there's very, many different dialects, many different levels of who speaks what dialect better, and so anyway, that's the episode today that we thought we would share, just continuing the complexity of the Chinese language. So don't forget to like and subscribe.
点赞.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Bye.